Hello, movie lovers. Yeah, it's Bob. Bob from the north. That guy lives in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Here to talk about the movies he watched this week. And you know something? You never watched that many. No, I never. Never got around to watching movies this week. Although I did watch a few. I also watched the Raptors TV, right? It's Toronto Raptors. Been watching them. I've been watching some hockey games through the week, so it takes up time from watching movies. But I did watch some, so let's talk about some of the movies I watched this week. So this video is going to be short. Alright, let me see. I watched Primal Fear from 1996. Stars Richard Gere, Edward Norton, the young Edward Norton. One of his first movies, I think. I'm not sure what his first movie was, but this might have been it. And Laura Linney, Linney. She also was in ER. Remember that TV show ER about the doctors? She was in that. But anyway, this movie's about a young boy that was an altar boy, right? Church. And the lawyer, he plays a lawyer, Richard Gere, you know, he defends this altar boy from the charge of murdering the archbishop of the church. And the reason, you know, he's defending him is he got caught running away from the place where he so-called, right, murdered the archbishop. He's all covered in blood and everything, right? So they arrest him, throw him in jail. And Richard Gere's character, for some reason, thinks that he didn't do it, right? So he defends him. It's a fairly good movie, right? Now, the thing between this movie is you're thinking now that, you know, did this guy, young altar boy, kill the archbishop, right? So as the movie, you know, goes along, you find out some other reasons, things that are happening here in this, you know, in the story-wise, right? So I thought it was a well-done movie. Richard Gere does very well in his part, and Edward Norton is a very likable young gentleman that says that he didn't do it. He didn't kill him. But, you know, considering the fact he's all covered in his blood and his footprints are all over the room and there's blood everywhere and he's running through the neighborhood and the cops are chasing him. And did he do it? Well, you're going to have to watch the movie to find out, because I ain't telling you. I like doing that. Alright, what else did I watch? I watched The Glimmer Man. Does anybody know The Glimmer Man? Then The Glimmer Man is this one right here, The Glimmer Man. From 1996. Stars Steven Seagal, yes. And Keenan Ivory Wayans. Of that family, yeah, that family, right? Yeah, they're all good actors. Steven Seagal shows up at as a new guy, right, in the police station, right, and he hooks up with Keenan Ivory Wayans' character as a policeman. They're detectives. Thing is, there's a serial killer going on around here, right? A serial killer killing people. Kind of weird. He nails them up against the wall and stuff like that, and hangs them and puts nails through their hands and stuff like that, right? So he's a wacko. But they're trying to find out who the serial killer is. There's also something else going on here. There might be two serial killers. But anyway, Steven Seagal, you know, he does his usual, you know, act, right? He kicks the shit out of people and makes some funny comments and stuff like that. So, Keenan Ivory Wayans, he's pretty good in it too. He's very a likable character. He's getting blown up here and shot at and all these things. But it's not a bad movie. You know, in the beginning of Steven Seagal's career, he did make a few, I thought, not too bad movies. Like they were okay, right, for action movies and stuff in the beginning when he first started. As we all know now, the last few years, probably a long time now, a lot of his movies have been going straight to video, right? Just you never see them at the show anymore. And that stopped, at least, what, I don't know, 20 years ago? But he's made a lot of movies, but most of them are straight to video. And they're not, all of them, they're not that good. This one wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't bad, so I give it a 6. There's a lot of action and a lot of funny things, and, so it's okay. If you want to watch it, it's fine. 6 out of 10, so Steven Seagal, yeah. The Glimmer Man. And I also watched The Unholy One. I think this was Diana Dore's first movie, and one of the last movies made at RKO Radio. Well, I think it was one of their last pictures that were, put out and placed in the show, because they were running. That was it for them. RKO, yeah, they were pretty well done as a studio making pictures around this time, in 1957. Yeah, Rod Steiger, he's a winemaker, and he meets this young lady, blonde lady, and she has a son. And anyway, they marry each other, and then they're in this grippy, huge house, and grandma's there, and and I think his brother's a priest. And anyway, she shoots somebody there. They're coming into the house, and she kills him. And she kind of blames it on her husband, Rod Steiger, and he kind of takes the blame. So this is what they call a whole hum movie. You're kind of watching the movie as it goes along, waiting for something to happen. I don't know. Hard to explain, but slow and plodding, and I didn't really like it. So another movie. Never watch this one again. If it shows up anywhere, I have no intention of buying it, or if it shows up in TCM again, I'll go, oh, I remember that one. I don't have to watch that one. So yeah, I gave that a 5 out of 10. I considered it boring. Yeah, Diana Doris and Rod Steiger. And then I watched this one. I went from The Unholy One to Three Came Home. Yes, Three Came Home. Starring Claudette. Is her name Claudette Colbert? Colbert, C-O-L-B... C-O-L-B-E-R-T, Colbert. Yeah, it's based on a true story. Second World War, 1941. She's living in, where she's living at, Sandaga? Yeah, 1941. And they hear word, the war's going on, and they get word that the Japanese are invading. They're going to invade sooner or later, right? Few months go by, but they do invade. They put everybody in a concentration camp, fruit fly or something. They put, separate the men, concentration camp, and they separate the women and the children. And it takes, most of the stories about her and her son and with the other women in the concentration camp. Now there is a Japanese soldier, colonel or something like that, but he knows her in her book that she wrote, and he kind of tries to his best to kind of take care of her or look after her or be nice to her, along that line, right? But yeah, it's all about them being in a concentration camp, and all the women together, and things that happened to them over the time there. I think they were probably in there for a few years, I would imagine. I think it was a few years, until the end of the movie, where of course the Americans come and save them, the people. They get out of the concentration camp, and they're all cheering and everything. So I can't really tell you the ending of it. Whether she hooks up with her husband or not, they all get together and everything's happy, because I try not to spoil movies here most of the time. Most of the time I try not to do that, to spoil anything for you. So I'm here just to say what I watched this week. But Yeah, that was a very well done movie. I liked it. Gets a little teary-eyed here and there. You know me, I get a little teary-eyed when I watch movies. Can't help it. I always did it that way. I get teary-eyed when I watch, Dumbo. Old Yeller, movies like that. Yeah, I can't help it. But, yeah, this stars Claudette Colbert and Patrick Knowles. True story. Related, told by Mrs. Keith. 1941. Very well done movie, Claudette Colbert. I give it an 8. A big 8 out of 10. A very well done movie. And I also watched, of course, this month's movie for the Grumpy Old Gentleman. It was my pick, and I picked The Sixth Sense. So, and Sixth Sense, I give it an 8. Yeah, very, very well done movie. Bruce Willis did very well in it. And Toni Collette is the little guy's mother. Very good movie. I also watched 2 movies. I watched Dirty Harry and The Shootist for the Grumpy Old Gentleman on film. And I'll be putting that video up soon, hopefully. All the other gentlemen have been putting up videos, and I guess I'm a little behind on it, and I apologize, but that's what I'm going to be doing next. My time I'll be spending on watching those movies. Everybody's pick from that they gave me, so I'll be watching that. So my video will be up soon in regards to The Shootist and Dirty Harry. I watched Dirty Harry this afternoon. So watch for a video soon of those 2 movies, and the rest, of course. So yeah, have a great weekend. Rick's going to be here tomorrow for the Bob and Rick show, so we're going to have a pizza and watch a movie tomorrow and talk about them and, stuff like that. A regular Saturday afternoon on the Bob and Rick show, the Rick and Bob show. But yeah, he's back. I'm back. Long weekends, things to do. But yeah, we should be here for the next couple of weeks. Who knows? Who really knows what's going to happen? But definitely tomorrow we should be here for the Bob and Rick show. So I'll have a video, probably be up on Sunday, to let you know what we watched and what we talked about and what we did on tomorrow, Saturday. So have a good weekend. I've been busy today too. You see my curtains in the back there? Yeah, I've been putting curtains up on my window. There's a black pair that I put in the middle. I'm going to put in the middle. So that's what I've been doing also, taking up my time. So finally getting curtains in this place. My own curtains that I put up. They never had curtains here when I moved in. So I decided to do that. So that's what I've been doing, keeping myself busy doing that. Going for walks, going outside, going for a walk. And just roaming around, that's all. Getting some air, getting out and getting some air. All right, people, keep watching those movies. Love and peace to everyone. Yep, and I'll talk to you next week on the movies that I watched this week. Later. Go Raptors!